Self-preservation isn't selfish. Wanting to not be in pain isn't selfish. Doing what is best for your health and well-being isn't selfish. So this woman posted in the Am I Overreacting subreddit saying, Am I overreacting to my boyfriend's response to my hysterectomy? And she shows us a text message conversation. I'm going to read her caption first, though. My boyfriend, who's 35, and I, a woman who's 32, have been friends for over 10 years. We recently started dating after I divorced my ex-husband, whose name is blanked out. I have stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis. My boyfriend has known about my medical problems for our entire friendship. He's known for years now that I have fertility issues because of my disease. He was always very supportive, but now his opinion has changed only because we are now romantically involved, and he thinks this decision to get a hysterectomy should be made together as a couple. When we got together, he said he doesn't care much about having kids or not. He's taking it very personal, even though I've shared with him how serious this choice is for me, and I'm absolutely gutted that I have to make it, but I think I've spent enough time trying to find a way around it, and it's been unsuccessful. For those that don't know, a hysterectomy won't stop endometriosis from growing back, but it will stop the pain from adenomyosis, which causes me debilitating periods. I've already had 5 surgeries for excision of endo, and I've had several organs removed because they were completely destroyed by the endo. I'll probably have to have excision surgery for endometriosis for the rest of my life. But at least if I get a hysterectomy, I won't have to deal with terrible periods and extremely heavy bleeding. My periods last 10 days, and it seriously affects my life. I've lost many jobs and I'm on disability because I rely on a walker during those days. I also pass decidual casts every month, which are so painful. Google at your own risk because they look gross. I did not Google. I did not. Please reassure me that I'm not overreacting. First, the way he talks to me is not okay, and the switch in opinions suddenly is weird. Okay, the boyfriend is in black. He says, I didn't mean to raise my voice yesterday. I'm sorry. I just don't think you should do it. It's such a bad decision. She says, I appreciate you apologizing, and I'm sorry too for how that discussion went. I'm just very confused why all of a sudden you think I shouldn't go through with it. You know how much pain I'm in, and we talked about this before, and you encouraged me to get it done. I don't think because we're now together, it should change your opinion. He says, but that's before we started dating. Now that you're my girlfriend, I don't think you should give up on having kids, especially if that's something you always wanted. Honestly, I think blank really screwed you up and put this idea in your head because he couldn't have kids. I'm sorry if that sounds mean, but all you ever talk about is having a baby and starting a family with him, and now you don't want to start a family with me? That hurts. It cuts off at the top, but it says, blank wasn't the only one who couldn't have kids. I've gone to so many fertility doctors and I've done so much testing and hormone therapy. We both spend a lot of money trying to make it work, but we both can't have kids. He never put that idea in my head. In fact, he always supported me getting the hysterectomy because he saw how much pain I'm in right now. And the boyfriend says, so you want to have kids with him, but not me. Got it. She says, also, I really don't think it's fair for you to bring him up since he's out of my life now. This decision is mine to make, and I would really appreciate if you could support me. He says, but you did that journey with him and not me. So how should I feel about this? Why can't you do it again with me? She says, I would love to be a mother, but after years of being in denial, I realize now it's not possible for me. I've already had 5 surgeries to clean up the endo. I've done the IVF journey. I've tried almost every hormone med out there to suppress the endo from growing back, and my body just won't do it. The meds are supposed to put me in menopause, and none of them have. I still have debilitating periods and severe pain, not just from the endo, but from adenomyosis. This is not about you versus him. This really has nothing to do with him. This is my decision to make, but I would really like for you to be a part of my support team as you've been for the last 12 years. And he says, so if you've already made up your mind, Why are you complaining to me every day about not wanting to do it? Why even talk if you don't care how it'll impact me? She says, that's really hurtful. You're my partner, and I'm complaining because this is an incredibly hard choice I have to make. You know that I'm not taking it lightly either. Also, I don't want to do it. I'm devastated that I have to throw away my dream of being a mother, but I have a shitty life and I'm so tired of it. You've seen how much pain I'm in, and I need to choose myself and my health, but it's absolutely not something I want. He said, you are taking it lightly. You could have made that choice with blank, but no, all of a sudden, now that we're together, it's easy for you to go through with it. It's like a punch in the gut that you don't want to have kids with me. There are millions of women who deal with the pain every day. You aren't special. I am taken aback. I want to break up with him absolutely right now. She says, what the F? That's really hurtful to say, and you know it. Please give me some space for the rest of the day, and we can talk about it more another time. Really disappointed in you right now. He said, millions of women deal with the pain every day. You aren't special. I am galled. Okay, then he says, please pick up. I'm sorry for what I said. I realize it was hurtful. Like, she's going through some existential crisis, and you touch that. Ooh, I am gagged. She says, I can't talk right now. I'm on a call. Thank you for apologizing, but it was still very mean. And I don't want to have this conversation with you anymore. This is the choice. This choice is mine to make. And I hope you can support me. If you won't, I won't force you. I'm sorry, but it says, but if not, I won't force you. The top part is cut off, but he says, so even after all of this, you're going through with it, even though you know how I feel. Okay. You're not even considering how this impacts me. It's like you're just giving up. I don't understand what happened with your doctor to randomly decide to have a hysterectomy. Like, my mind is blown that you would be this heartless. You're so selfish. Y'all, I am too through with this dude. She says, they told me 5 years ago it's time to get a hysterectomy, and the chance of me conceiving is 1 in a million. And since then, I spent thousands of dollars and so much of my time trying to get that slim chance, but I can't do this anymore. It's not effing random. I literally tried for years to manage my pain in other ways and start a family. I've already lost my gallbladder, appendix, and part of my diagram to the endo. I'm on heavy pain meds that make me miserable. I'm literally so miserable in my life, all because of the pain. She says, wow, I truly can't believe that's the way you feel. We literally talked about this so many years, and you told me that if a hysterectomy will improve my quality of life, I should do it. And now you're completely changing your mind and you're blaming me when I already feel so sad about making this decision. He says, I stand by what I said. You're a selfish woman, and I doubt you've tried everything out there to fix your problem without destroying your body, but whatever. She says, I'm not responding to you anymore. Please stop. I have a busy day and you are incredibly rude. He says, yeah, I'm the problem, sure. So because you want to have it done, I have to change my whole life and will never have kids. And you don't see how selfish that is. You wanted to have kids with blank, but not me. I got it now. Now he's just talking to himself. I don't understand why the hell you can't try IVF with me, but you can do it with that a-hole. Like, can you not see where I'm coming from? And it's a sin to remove your body parts. So I'm not sure if I want to be with someone who says they're a good Christian, but then does like this. You have no regard for others around you, especially me. You just want to do whatever the hell you want and think there's no consequences to your actions. Please don't ignore me. I'm sorry. Hello? I see you reading my messages, so what's the problem? He says, I'm not done with this conversation, and it's rude that you're ignoring the call, so pick up. I am blown away from the audacity of this man to think that his feelings should supersede the pain that she's in and stop this procedure that will help improve her life. Like, he really believes that she should stay in pain for the rest of her life to appease him, someone that said that he wasn't even really trying to have kids. I'm going to make a part two for some of the comments. So there's going to be a part two. This is part two to the Am I Overreacting to my boyfriend's response to my hysterectomy. The post was long, so now I'm doing the comments. Auntie Call says, is there going to be an update? I need to know if you left him by now, or did he get his head out of his butt now that you're ignoring him? Regardless, he doesn't care about your health, and that's effing sad. You told him you literally lost some organs, and he's like, and plenty of women are in pain every day. You're not special. She says, I will post an update when we talk in person in a few days. We're working in different cities right now, so see each other a few times a week. I text him that he is blocked for now, and I'll only talk to him face to face in a public park, and I'm not communicating with him any further. I don't like dumping someone over text, even though he's a gigantic a-hole. He was a part of my life for many years, and I like to end the relationship in person. Spotted Fawn says, is it worth considering bringing a friend to have them nearby in the park just in case? Twin Size Mattress says, this is so upsetting to read. You're underreacting, in my opinion. There's no way this is the person you're meant to spend your life with. And she says, OP here. There are so many comments and I can't go through them all. And I'm 100% leaving him and ending this relationship. I just needed to know for sure I wasn't overreacting. I will make an update post when I can. Really appreciate everyone's support and advice. Original Trust says, just in case no one has said it yet, I'm proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of you to come out of a divorce where everyone's head is a bit shaky, then to realize this is not on and shut that down. It's brilliant. A lot of people would have let it go or not see it in the first place when in this vulnerable state. I don't mean that as an insult either. Most people are vulnerable after a breakup. You look after yourself, get rid of that bloody thing that's trying to eat you from the inside out. Not everyone feels it at all. It's torture, and any other woman who's felt it will make a bloody barricade at the door and support you. Exactly. Women know and understand. I haven't felt any kind of debilitating pain like this that she's describing, but I will form a virtual supportive barricade if I can. Super Bois Bois says, lost me at calling removing a part of your body a sin. And then she says, yes, and he isn't even religious, but he knows I am and tried to use that to hurt me and make me feel like a bad Christian. And then Super Bois Bois says, yeah, that's effed up. That's not cool. That is really cool. I mean, that is really effed up because he tried to make a bad situation worse and make her feel guilty about trying to not be in pain. That's literally what he's trying to do, saying how I feel on this topic is more important than you trying to not be in debilitating pain. And just as a reminder, she says, when we got together, he said he doesn't care much about having kids or not. He is taking it very personal, even though I've shared with him how serious this choice is for me. And I'm absolutely gutted that I have to make it. But I think I've spent enough time trying to find a way around it, and it's been unsuccessful. So he didn't care until it was like smack dab in his face that she's pulling this body part out. And now he's sitting up here scrambling, trying to figure out what to do, even though he was not pressed about kids. Some of these comments are wild. Primary Cup says, wanting children is something you have to be on the same page for. If you don't want them and he does, that's an irreconcilable difference. It's not that he's feeling entitled like so many of the man haters are saying on here. He wants a far different life than she does, so end it. She says, I'm getting tired of replying the same thing when people don't bother to fully read. He told me for the last 12 years he doesn't want kids. When we got together, he said he doesn't want kids. Last week when I made my appointment, he said he doesn't want kids. He can change his mind anytime, but we got together under the impression we will not have kids. To call me selfish after 12 years of telling me he doesn't want kids is ridiculous. We agreed we shared the same life goals literally a week ago. Sam the Jelly Beanie says, Guy here, I'm sorry to say this, but he 100% told you all that about not wanting to have kids because he knew that's what you wanted to hear. He wanted to F you. I know because I have said the things that women wanted to hear so I could be with them because I was lonely. I ended up hurting their feelings and I regret it. I'm still looking for the right person because I grew up and refused to do that to anyone else. Good news for you is that you're not married and can leave that sorry excuse for a man. The crazy thing is, she could leave him even if she were married. As of right now, we can still leave relationships even if we're married. Primary Cup, the one who just said some wild stuff, says, I did read. I'm saying if he's changed his mind, it's over and be done with it. He's not a misogynist. He's not abusive. He doesn't know what we want. End it. The thing is, he was abusive and he was manipulative because of how he tried to coerce her and pressure her and push her into doing something that she didn't want to do simply because he changed his mind. That is abusive. That is mean. Tatty Tabby says his words are emotionally manipulative, deliberately mean, and then he begs her to talk to him after she tells him he's being hurtful and she no longer wants to engage. She's no longer going to engage. He is most definitely abusive. And then Primary Cup says, I read it as the words of a man who said, whatever you want, honey, because it's the polite thing to do. Now suddenly he realizes he wants children before it's too late. They need to break up and be done. So it's like these men will stay on code. Like literally everything that man said and did to that woman in these text exchanges, if they were in person, it would literally gut somebody. Struggle Usual says, then he should be a grown up and tell her they need to discuss. And he's realized he does want kids and he knows that's not possible with her. Not try and change her mind when he knows she's been through the fertility treatment process before, not to mention what they've already discussed not having kids. I'm sorry, when they've already discussed they not having kids. One entrepreneur has this long and dismissive comment saying, he's calling you selfish. It seems like because kids in the future were already a discussion. Not saying changing your mind is bad, but when you're starting to get older, you feel more of an urgency to settle down and have children, and it's a big deal. It's not something you should just rip away from your significant other without letting them know it may be something you're not up to trying again to begin with. He is, in my opinion, hurt that he may have to start over because kids are a big chapter in his life. He does not have to support your decision because he could just leave. We shouldn't be expected to stay in a relationship and support someone who doesn't align with your values and what you consider to be important. Obviously, he needs to work on communication, but I'd be heated if my significant other was taking away our ability to create a new life. And I, number one, was deceived into believing my partner was on the same page, and two, he had absolutely no say or opinion on whether or not we should have kids. And then to be expected to stand by and throw away important life dreams to support you? Absolutely not. No way in hell I'm bringing this up to my man without understanding what he aspires in his own life and saying something along the lines of, I know this is important to you and I understand if after this conversation you want to end things. I understand health complications and needing to put yourself first is when you get into a relationship with someone who you know desires to be a father, you can't be upset if they're not okay with not having kids. This is obviously a very firm standing subject for him, and you are oblivious to the gravity, it seems. If I were him and I found out you posted about what I thought was a private conversation asking for people to comment like me, it would be immediately over. I hope he's able to have as many kids as he wants. And I honestly hope he finds this. I know people do it a lot, but when you're in a relationship, you don't get to cherry pick which argument to post about behind their back. Journaling is a great way to relax, relieve stress. Posting your problems will make your partner have very little to no trust in you. Even having YouTubers react to these kind of things. How about you keep deep and vulnerable conversations with your partner private and not post them behind his back? That makes you look like the bigger a-hole. I don't care. This is a woman because the way she talked, but this is a pick me woman that is obviously siding with an a-hole type of a man. And this is the reason why I do not trust all of these pick me's, because they will walk over your bloody, pain riddled body for the feelings of a man, not your feelings of being in pain, in physical pain. That pick me was right about one thing. A YouTuber such as myself will react to this because this dude is such an a-hole. And I want women to be perfectly fine with choosing their health and well being over the feelings of a man. The OP did respond to that pick me saying, "You did not read anything I wrote. He doesn't want kids." Of course, we had talked about this many times before. His whole life, he did not want children. When we got together, he didn't want children. Last week, when I told him I'm meeting my surgeon to schedule my hysterectomy, he didn't want children. Also, it's not that I don't want children. I physically cannot. I cannot give him a family. We talked about this before dating. We talked about this before my appointment yesterday, and he was completely okay with it. It is not okay to talk to me the way he did when he had a very clear understanding of our life goals. He has been my friend for 12 years, and in 12 years, not once did he mention that he does, in fact, want children. So hopefully this pick me understands this now. Apprehensive Rain says, "Girl, I can't imagine what you've been through. You must be exhausted. You deserve peace and quiet, and your time is precious. Don't waste it replying to idiots who don't know how to read. It's not your job to teach them." And I think that that is where we're going to end that. Like I said before, early on, I want women to have a sense of self-preservation. It is okay to want your health and well-being, and it's not selfish to no longer want to be in pain. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and go ahead and give me a follow.